Artefactors Union, Colette core box, one of the most iconic boxes in all of Malifaux. One of those ones where, like, hey, our game isn't all about, like, shooting and being this badass warrior, but it's about people with various talents being so good at those talents, they're literally magical. Anyways, we're going to start with Colette herself. 1L, 2 T's. Don't spell it incorrectly. This is her artwork. That is the render. Here's our sprue, and this part is Colette. Like speculation on build that I always get wrong. We'll start with the body, add the leg and the skirt. The head is here somewhere. There's the head, and the feathers on the back. Then we'll go ahead and add the arms, do the magical effect, and then the dove last. Body, leg. Here's the skirt front. Okay, the hair goes on real weird, so we're going to do that next, immediately followed by the left arm. Then we'll do the face and the right arm. Feathers on the back, magical effect, and dove. The hair is going to connect to this hole here on the back, but also it will sort of wrap around and glue inside what we would normally think is the whole connection point for the arm, but it's actually part of what connects to the arm. See, that's what it looks like. There's the left arm. And there is our face. Oh, fuck. Now attach her face to the face hole. I'm going to switch up the order just because the connection point of the right arm here is pretty small. So we're going to go ahead and put the back of the skirt on first. There we go. From the front. Let's build ourselves a tiny-ass bird. Here's one half of the mechanical dove on her wrist. Give your tiny-ass bird some tiny-ass wings and just try your hardest to make them even. Well, how do we connect our tiny-ass bird to our less tiny magician lady? This tab right here on the tail feathers, that glues into right here, this hole on her wrist. And this is what it looks like. You can kind of even see here and on the back of her hand where they molded the legs of the bird onto the arm bit. Take your right arm, bedazzle the shit out of it, and glue it to the body. Colette DuBois, the master of the performer keyword. Model's done. Not a lot of difficulty. The pain points being the left arm, how that connects with the hair and the body, and just how tiny the mechanical dove is. But once you get past that, you're all good. So there she is. Moving on to the doves. Artefactors Union, Colette core box. We are going to be doing her totems, the mechanical doves, 3 of them. In fact, we'll see if we can fit them all into one video. Here's the artwork we have of one of them. And here's all 3 as a render. Here's our sprue, and they've identified them for us. So these 2 columns are one dove, these 2 columns are another dove, and this singular column is the last dove. So we'll just go left to right, C, A, B. Start off with the base, then we'll add this piece, and finish off the dove itself. Anyways, back to our base. Add the first bit. I'm honestly not entirely sure why, but these 2 pieces just would not stick together, so I ended up leaving them out overnight. I mean, you don't have to actually leave them out overnight, I just was doing these late, so welcome to tomorrow morning, I guess. Here's the next bit. It's a little mangled just because it took so many tries getting it to connect with this bit falling off at the bottom, so yours will probably look better as long as you let the initial step dry. Moving on. Add bird. 1 done. Moving on to Mechanical Dove A, we're going to go ahead and take these cards, glue them to this bit, glue this guy to this bit as well, put it on the base, and then the bird on the base. Here's the bit we're adding the cards to, and on the other side, right here is where we put the card. The tooth for that hole is right here on the cards. There we go. Flip it back over. Add the other piece on it. Note that while the connection point is technically in front of this curly part right here, the bit will actually go behind it. Grab our base. We're actually going to add the dove bit first because the other bit we made will connect right there on it. This one fairly easy, but I learned that the angle on this guy was incorrect, so I had to adjust it slightly so it actually slot into the spot it's supposed to on the dove. And Mechanical Dove B, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this done in a minute because it's by far the most complicated. Brim, hat, bird. Mechanical doves, all done. Pain points, I think I pointed them out earlier, but just to remind you the issues I had with the first one. The first two pieces I had a hard time connecting it away from the cure, and the second one, because I was fiddling with it too much, it looks a little gummy. It's alright though. The middle one, the biggest issue was getting the two tendrils to kind of connect with the bird correctly. But that wasn't too hard, and my cement was relatively soft, so not a huge pain in the butt. And the hardest one for the third one was clipping it out of the sprue, literally. So, mechanical doves. Moving on to Cassandra. Artefactors Union, Colette Core Box, Cassandra Felton, the henchman. Here is our artwork. That's the render. Here's the sprue. I think the order will be pretty simple. Grab the body, add both the legs, wrap the skirt around, put the other arm on, combine the two pieces of the head, and plop that on last. Body. Right leg is the leg she's standing on. Left leg is the bent leg. Now attach the skirt like shown. Add the right arm to make her a little teapot. I'm a little teapot, short as down. Here is my handle, here is my knife. Here is most of our head. Add the rest of the head. And add on the head. Just a reminder, the neck connection point is pretty small, so just be careful. Cassandra Felton, done. Nothing too difficult about this. Possibly the hardest parts are just getting the head on the neck, and if you don't have the render as a reference, I'm not sure you would know where the angle of that arm is supposed to go, but pretty easy. Next up, the 3 Showgirl minions. Artefactors Union, Colette Core Box. Our first minion, Showgirl A. This is her artwork, and our render is here. We will call her Garnet. Here's our sprue for all 3 minions. Going to be pretty darn easy, but we're concerned with these 2 columns here. We will grab the torso, add the arms, grab this part of the skirt, jam the legs in there, then glue it to the torso and finish off with this part of the skirt. Here's our torso. Go to the back. You can obviously see where the arms go in. There they are. Just a little bit tricky. Put this end in first and then just sort of fold it forward, and that's how we'll go in. Here's our big skirt bit. Go ahead and add the right leg. It's the straighter one of the 2, and just make sure that this whole thing is flush. Left leg next. Connect it to the torso. Turn it around, and jam on our last bit. Showgirl A, aka Garnet, done. Model's pretty, only 6 pieces, pretty quick build. Shouldn't have any issue with this. Artefactors Union, Colette Core Box, Showgirl B. We're gonna call her Amethyst. There's no artwork on here, but here, if it'll focus, is our render. Here's the sprue, literally 3 pieces. Body, legs, skirt. Body, legs, and it plugs into the back like that. Performer B, aka Amethyst, done. 3 pieces, pretty quick. Should be fine for just about anyone. Artefactors Union, Colette Core Box, Showgirl C. We're gonna call her Pearl. No artwork on the front. This is our render. Here is our sprue. We're gonna go torso, skirt, skirt, leg, leg, and this feather thing on the back. Torso. Gonna be looking at the back. This might not be obvious, so this scalloped part is what's facing forward, the actual open part of the skirt. Anyways, the part I just showed you goes like that. Now glue the other half to both the torso and the other half of the skirt. And since we're already staring at her butt, might as well add this back bow thing, like that. Let's do legs. Right leg first, I guess. To tell that it is the right leg, you look at this strap right here. It's only on one side. Now the left leg. Performer C, aka Pearl, done. Arguably the most difficult out of the 3, but still terribly easy. All 3 of those minions were super easy, so shouldn't have any sort of tough time. And that's the last of the box. Moving on.